We will now learn about parameterized constructor. So what is a parameterized constructor? A parameterized constructor is a constructor which takes parameters. So let's look at an example. So here we have the class student and we have defined a constructor. So how do we identify a constructor? The constructor has the same name as the class name. So here student is a constructor and this constructor is taking parameters. So this constructor here is taking two parameters. So the first parameter is type string and its name is name1, and the second parameter is of type int and its name is age1. So because this is a constructor which is taking parameters, it is referred to as a parameterized constructor. Now let us understand what we are doing here. So we are saying name is equal to name1. So this field name of the student, we are assigning it the parameter that we got name1. Similarly, we are saying age is equal to age1. So the field age of the student, we are giving it the value age1 which we got as a parameter. So how do we use it? So now what we're doing here is we're saying student st1 is equal to new student John, 26. So when we are creating the student st1, we're creating it with these parameters John, 26. So now we can call this constructor here because this constructor, as we can see, is taking a string and an int as parameter, and we are passing to this constructor here a string and an int. So both of them match. So now when we construct it and try and print it, let's see what will happen. So when we are creating this st1, we know st1 will have, now name will be what? So we are creating st1 with John and 26 as the parameters. So age will be 26. Now why will it be? Because here name1 would have been John and we are saying name is equal to name1. So name will now get the value John. Similarly, age1 here would have been 26. That's the parameter we are passing here, the second parameter. So hence age is equal to age1, which means age would have gotten the value 26. So this is what st1 would be. And then when we say system.out.println st1.name, what will get printed is John. And when we say system.out.println st1.age, 26 would be printed on the screen. Let us look at one more example. So here we are saying student st2 is equal to new student Alice, 25. So what are the parameters? Alice and 25. So these are the parameters we are passing here. So name1 parameter would be Alice, age1 would be 25. Hence name for this object st2 will get the value Alice and age will get the value 25. So we would have st2, name for st2 will be Alice and age would be equal to 25. Now then when we say system.out.println st2.name, what will be st2.name? It will be Alice. And when we say system.out.println st2.age, it will be 25. So here we have constructed another object of the class student using the parameterized constructor. Now here we have defined the class rectangle, and in the class rectangle we have added a constructor. And what does this constructor take? This constructor is taking two parameters of type int L1 and B1. And what are we doing within this constructor? We are saying length is equal to L1, breadth is equal to B1, and then we are calculating its area as L1 into B1 and printing the area. Now let us look at some code that we run here. So here we are saying rectangle rect1 is equal to new rectangle 10, 12. So what are the parameters we are passing? 10 and 12. So L1 will take the value 10. And what value will B1 take? B1 will take the value 12. So now what will be this rectangle look like? So this rectangle will look like length So this is rect1. So length will be equal to, now once we go here, we saying length is equal to L1. Now what will be length? L1, L1 was 10, so length will get the value 10. And what will be breadth? Breadth we saying is B1. Now what was B1? B1 was the second parameter, which was 12. So breadth will be 12. Then what are we saying? We are saying in the constructor itself, we have not completed the constructor. Int area is equal to L1 into B1. So in the constructor, what will we get? We'll get area is equal to L1, which is 10, into 12, which is equal to 120. And then we are saying system.out.println area. So what will get printed on the screen is 120. Now with this, this code is complete. We have completed it. So it will come here, which means it will go to the next line. System.out.println rect1.length. Now what is rect1.length? It is 10. So it will print 10 on the screen. And then what are we saying? System.out.println rect1.breadth. So what will get printed on the screen is 12. So here we have been able to define and use parameterized constructors.